Well, Rob, we're 24 hours away from the first ever Heineken Cup game here at Sandy Park. Exciting times.
Oh, definitely. You can feel there's a bit of a buzz around the place. There's a lot of activity going on here, making sure everything's just right for tomorrow. Obviously, a massive televised game and a great opportunity for the players to show how good they are against one of the best teams in Europe.
I was doing my homework last night. 3 years ago, you were all set for a game home here against Rotherham. It shows how far you've come. That you're now playing one of the biggest sides in French rugby.
Yeah, but it doesn't seem all that long ago, and but at the same time, you can kind of remember the steps we've taken and the hard work that's been put in. And like I say, it doesn't feel like we've suddenly turned up here. It does feel like we've stepped towards it. And it's been a nice progression. So that's very much how I look at it. It's been a progression. We've worked our way here. We've got here because we deserve to be here through a lot of hard work, and now we've got to make sure we maximise the opportunity.
You've had a week to reflect on last week at Leinster. Mixed emotions, you said, was the word after that game.
Yeah, well, I think so. But I think it's like anything. When you work extremely hard and you play well in the game, you're always a little disappointed if the game gets away from you. And in some ways, losing by 3 points is, I know it sounds strange, is sometimes harder to mentally deal with than if you lose by 10 or 15 and the game's been out of your reach for a little while. Like that game at Leinster never got out of our reach. That was the way we hoped it to be, and we kind of knew if we were there or thereabouts at the end that we had a great opportunity, and it kind of went to plan in a lot of ways, but we didn't quite see it off. Now, that was a variety of reasons for it, but I think what we have to concentrate on is making sure that if you go away in the Heineken Cup, you probably have to be 10 points better than the team to even, or play in a way to be 10 points better than the team to even hope to be there at the end. So, we were maybe just a little bit below where we needed to be to win the game. But that said, it was a great performance in a lot of ways. I thought we defended extremely well, and some of our attacking play really had Leinster on the rack for periods of time. So, massive positives for us. A big learn on the intensity of the game, and intensity on some of the individual skills that you need to really keep in place to win big games. But we'll have learned from it, and the important thing is that we show some of the things we learned last week tomorrow. And if we do, we'll be a competitive side again.
You talked about attacking the game in every competition this year. That will be no doubt the mindset again this weekend. Yeah,
well, like I said, we're not in the competition to just kind of try and feel our way through and see what it's like. We've got to go out there and try and make it about ourselves. Now, that's difficult against good sides. But we had our fair share of the ball against Leinster, and that allowed us to do some things, and that's what we've got to strive to do tomorrow.
Obviously, looking ahead now, it's a bit quiet, but this place will be pretty full. The fans in Dublin last week were fantastic as well. This place gets a bit noisy when it's packed to the rafters.
Yeah, but there's a reality to it. Your supporters have to get behind the team. They have to kind of put some pressure on the officials. They have to kind of create some momentum in the game. Obviously, the players' responsibility is to create the moments that really get the crowd alive and on their feet. And we know we're very much in it together as a team and as supporters. But I'm sure we'll have our moments tomorrow, and if we've got to build some momentum, and we've got to make sure we ram our opportunities home.
You talked about the positivity of last weekend. You've stuck with virtually the same side, just the one change, Dean Mum coming in. His first European start, what are you expecting from him?
I think, well, first and foremost, I think it's, there's a reality to we've got some very good players playing really on form in the second row positions, and I think there's a bit of a reality they're probably going to share a little bit of game time and keeping them fresh as combinations and just making sure they can keep battering themselves in like they are doing. We have a few less options in the back row and front row at the moment, so there's a little bit more solidity there. But I think, I think Dean has shown, in the Harlequins game, he's a very, very good player, and in the way he came off the bench last week. So again, good opportunity for him. Hanksy's been playing extremely well, but as I said, Tommy missed out on the Quins game, and we freshened him up a little bit, and now this is an opportunity to freshen Hanksy up a little bit. But he'll have a big say in things that happen tomorrow, and we've got Ali Muldowney who's doing a great job for us off the bench as well. So we've got some real competition there, and I think it's a bit about just getting the best out of each combination as we go along.
And it's not just those 23, 24 players around that first team squad. As we saw Monday night with the Braves, we've got a lot of food for thought there as well.
Yeah, really, really good, intense performance from the Braves. I think there was a number of guys within that team had their best games of the season, which is fantastic for us. I suppose from their perspective, slightly unfortunate that they're trying to fight their way into a team at the minute that's beaten Harlequins, has had a great performance against Leinster. But the reality is, all of those guys are kind of holding their hands up, and we're very comfortable selecting them. And I think that's what they have to make sure they're doing, that they keep performing in a way and training in a way where we want to get them in the team. because that's where it is at the minute. There's a number of guys there we want to see. We want to get in the first team. Obviously, they're going to have to bide their time a little bit, and when they get there, they've got to take their chances.
Brilliant. Thank you.